Our next app is a greeting app, uh, which has the layout like this. We have in the app bar, we have the title greeting app. Then we have a title over here as well. In this app, the user enters his name, and when the user clicks on the submit button, the hello and his name is displayed on the screen. So this is a simple app, and I will write this app in Flutter to demonstrate the functionality of text field and elevated button in Flutter. So let's start how to develop this app. So I will start the Android Studio, have a new project, select the SDK, and let me name it as text field demo. In the main dot file, I will remove all the comments. Let me remove the comments from the file to make it a little bit cleaner. I will also remove this increment counter function because I don't need it. I will remove this also. Remove this as well. Now, after removing the components that I don't need in the comments, I'm left with this code in my app. So I have a center widget which has a column widget inside, and the column widget don't have any children. So if I go to my app, first of all, I need in the title I need this text greeting app, and I also need the two text over here. So let me, in the title, let me give the greeting app over here, and in the children I will say text, and I will say greeting app, comma, text, enter your name, comma. Now let me check it. Now this is the output. This is how the app looks like. Let me reduce it. So this is what I have now. Now the next thing that I need to do is to give a text field over here that is used to enter the name of the user. So over here I will say text field. This is a text field widget. Sorry. Over here I will say text field. Let me check it. There is nothing is shown on the screen. So in the text field, we need to give certain values. Now, the first thing that we need to give to the text field is the text controller. Now, what is a text controller? The text controller is a controller that is attached with the text field. So over here, I will define a text editing controller, and I will say TC and name. Now, this is the naming convention that I'm using when I program Flutter apps. Since I can have with the name I can have different variables, so how to distinguish one variable from the other variable? It is the TC. It says that it is a text editing controller, or you can also mention it as TEC, text editing controller name, but I use TC, and I will say TC is equal to new text editing controller, and then I will say the text is, you can give a default text. So I will say the default text is just a blank, is nothing inside it. So over here I will say controller is tc name. Now when I run it, there are some issues in the, there is no comma over here. So when we run it, we get the app like this. So if you see here, we have a large text field. We don't want the text field to occupy the whole screen width. So how to control the screen width, the text field width? We have two options. We can enclose the text field in a container, or we can enclose it in a sized box. So let me enclose it in the sized box. I will, if I come to the text field and click on the Alt and Enter, here I get some options. So I will click on the wrap with size box. So it is now wrapped in the size box, and it has the same output. Now how can I control the width? I will set the width of the size box as, say, for example, 200. And if I refresh it, here is what I have. So I can write anything. I can write the name over here. The next thing is to put uh, an elevated button over here. So let me put elevated button, and on pressed I will just click on the, I will say null for the time being. I don't want anything, and in the child I will say text, and then I will say submit, and the last thing is the message, that again is the text, and let me give it a blank. So if I refresh it, I have a text field, then I have a submit button, and over here there is a text, but it is not displayed because I haven't given anything. If I give it the word hi, it will say hi, but this is not good, that since I have not placed anything in the text field. This should be blank. So what I will do for this thing, that I will create a string over here, and I will say string name, and initially I will assign it a value of nothing. So it is, let me put it over here, and in the text I will say this is name. No, it is, no, I can't give it. Let me put it as it is. So for on elevated button, when it is pressed, I need a function over here, and I will call it void, and I can give it any name, but let me give it the name pressed. So over here I will say I just want to put whatever is typed in the text field, I want to put it in the name. So whatever is typed in over here, when I click on the submit button, this value from the text editing controller tc name should come in this variable name. So for this I will say name is equal to text controller name dot text. So it will take the value, the text value, and it will put it in the name. And over here I will say hi and I can say dollar name and an exclamation mark. So if I run it, I will say, she will say here I, hi, and question mark. But this is not a good practice. So over here, I will use the ternary operator. And in the ternary operator, I will say if name is equal to blank, then return text, and the text should be blank, otherwise return text hi name. This is the ternary operator. Here is the condition. If this condition is true, meaning that there is nothing in the name, it will return the text with nothing, with just a blank value. And if the name has some value, then it will say hi name. So if I refresh it, it will display nothing because the text is blank over here. Now if I type some value over here, now the elevated button on pressed, it is null. That's why it is not clickable. So if I make it as pressed, meaning that when this button is pressed, the pressed function is called. So if you see over here, it is no more uh, not clickable, it is now clickable. So if I say Ali over here, sorry, if I enter Ali over here and click on the submit button, this is called, but no value is displayed over here, no message is displayed over here. And the reason is that I have not rebuild the widget. Now how to rebuild the widget? We have to call the set state function. So if I call the set state function over here, I say Ali, and then I submit, so it is saying hi Ali. So if let me let me change the UI a little bit. I need this greeting message little bit larger. I need a space over here, and I also a space over here. So let me make these changes as well. I will say style over here, and this is text style, and in the text style I will say the font size, and let me make it as 30. And over here, in after entering the name over here, let me have some let me have a size box over here as well. So I will say sized box, and the height is, for instance, let me make it 30. Let me check how much is the space between this. So 30 is little bit more. Let me make it as 15. Seems it is, let me make it 10. Okay, seems okay. Let me just copy this sized box over here between the, or if the size box is, let me give it over here as well, and after the, sorry, the message over here as well. So if I say over here, for instance, Umar, click on the submit, hi Umar. So this is what we have achieved, and this is what we wanted. We have a greeting app over here, and let me revise. We have a text widget over here. This is the text widget. We have then a sized box for the some space. Then we have a text widget. Then we have a text field over here. It is given over here, the text field. And then we have the sized box with some space. Then we have the elevated button. This is the elevated button, submit. And on the on pressed event is over here. We have a function on pressed, and that is called the pressed function. You can give it any name. Then we have a sized box with a value of 10, height of 10. And then over here we have the text field, and this is a ternary operator. So hope you have learned something from this tutorial, which we have I have demonstrated the text field, the text editing controller over here, and the elevated button. Thank you very much.